Because stress increases with isolation and separation, have you noticed a repeating negative pattern of clinging and crying from the youngest children? And even teens have become overly dependent, and their stress shows up as moodiness, a toxic attitude, and rock bottom energy. Or are kids in your charge more impulsive and reactive, more misbehavior every day when they know better? Because I get it. What I am hearing from kids is, my world is so different, nothing feels normal. They've lost their friends, they've dropped out of favorite activities, and they don't believe adults can help. My name is Devin Wolf, and I work with groups of teachers and parents to take a deep dive into the hows and whys of child and teen emotions under stress. We can easily focus on misbehavior, but I can provide a strong framework to guide our thinking deeper yet, because I focus on mental health. The foundation of this framework is emotions, relationships, and child development. I've worked in schools for over 30 years and then completed a Master's of Science in School Psychology with additional certification in addiction studies. And I can tell you that behavior is the tip of the iceberg and emotions are the huge mass underwater, but we still commonly use behavior consequences, learning plans, no tolerance policies, and charts for earning stars and stickers. These behavior methods are not adequate to address emotional issues. In fact, behavior methods can be inappropriate and can make matters worse. So I want you to hear this loud and clear. Mismanaged emotion is the superhighway to mental distress. Slow and steady is the best way to work with emotions. So my tip for today is a mental health intervention for turning a negative pattern into a positive daily pattern. And I call this intervention frame frustration. Frustration is an essential word I use in counseling all the time with all ages. It is framed by examining all sides of its meaning in all kinds of situations. So literally, if you want to write the word frustration and put it into a picture frame and hang it on your wall so your kids can refer to it and you can bring it up whenever you need, it's always in your space because frustration is normal. So it is always in our space. Without frustration, we cannot adapt to the way the world really works to become better problem solvers, gain resilience, and even emotional maturity. The hardest frustrations to face are limits and restrictions like COVID, or not being able to control the actions and decisions of others, an inability to master new learning, and not getting what we want or what we feel entitled to have. So there are 3 steps to framing frustration. The first one is depersonalize this big emotion by talking about frustration as if it's an object we can look at, comment on, and work around. So try saying, I see your frustration. I hear your frustration. Wow, that is big frustration. The second part is to resist blame because frustration will be more difficult to manage if it also includes blame. Blaming others justifies anger, so kids will say, I hate her, it's her fault. Blaming myself creates guilt, so you'll hear, I should be able to do this. Everyone else knows how. And blaming who I am introduces shame, like I hate myself, I never do anything right. A big emotion like frustration will leave 0 room for feelings of caring and responsibility in the moment. So blaming can occur, escalating both emotion and aggression. So resist their attempts to assign blame by normalizing their frustration. And this is the third part. Normalize by saying, I would be frustrated too. Anyone would find this frustrating. And then introduce a possible workaround or a do-over. So the 3 steps are depersonalize, resist blame, and then normalize. If you want to hear more about framing frustration, or you need other ideas which are basic to the emotion-focused approach, you can search Devin Wolf, Wolf Wisdom on YouTube, or check out my website, wolfwisdom.ca, and that's wolf with an E on the end.